Hello everyone, I'm so glad you're back with me today to craft and work on the cover for our December daily this year. Now I want to put a cover on this using the paper, and you know we have several sheets, full sheets left of our papers, and I had already set one of these aside for my front cover because I just thought that would be adorable. Now, if you cut off the little kind of branding strip at the top, you would still have a 6-inch square paper, and you can totally use that if you wish. But I think that for me, I think it's going to be a little too wide because you see it would come here and look how much it's sticking out. Now that would be okay if I had some tabs here, but I just feel like if I leave that too much, it's going to be kind of bending a lot on me. Let's look at the height. I think the height is going to be fine. It's going to give me just a little bit of buffer. So I'm going to keep the 6 inches. But as far as the width, okay, so this comes out to about 5 1/16. Let's do 5 1/4 wide. So what I need to do is trim some on either side of this. And this is what it's going to give me. And I think that looks great. Okay, so all you really need to do is just punch your holes in and you can use it. You could put eyelets in it, I would, to reinforce those holes for the cover, but then you're good. But I decided I want to turn mine into a shaker. So what I'm going to use is just a regular sheet protector that is one of these 8.5 by 11s. So let's get this in here. And what I'm going to do is push it all the way into this corner here. I'm going to leave that professional binding there, but I'm going to need to mark where this ends up. I want to use a ball stylus just to kind of mark that. I should have done it on this side, I think. See if that worked well enough. Yes, it did. Okay. Good job. So let's get our scissors out, and what I'm going to do is trim this, oh, let's see, about 1 inch beyond my little marking there. And you don't need to measure this as long as you can work with it. I had that on the side, and I have one of the finished edges on the bottom. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is trim the back of this off exactly at that little score line I just gave there, right on where the ball stylus marked. And I'm going to trim off slightly at an angle, just to get that little piece off there. And off here, just ever so slightly at an angle. Don't go crazy with it. I'm going to advise putting your tape on before cutting off the excess. So I am using 1/2 inch score tape. Now, before I peel anything, remember our dimensions on our paper was 6 by 5 1/4. We want to cut a backing for that and of the same dimensions. So let's pick one. Let's use this one. And the other prep we need to do is cover this in tape. I do have some of this myself, which is the big tape, but you can also use your 6-inch square tapes. Let's get that covered. Okay, so I've used a variety of tapes. If you just use the 6-inch wide papers, they work really well. Okay, so this is going to go in there. Perfect. And I am going to seal the side here. Oops, I meant to trim this off. Keep forgetting my steps. I need to trim this off right at the corner. All right, now I'm going to pull this over and seal it, and I'm not pulling it super tight. I do need it to be butted up right against the edge of the cardstock though. And now I'm going to put some shaker bits in here. Now I have these, which are the carnival candy pieces that are in my shop. Let's add a few of those. And this is adorable. And this is Santa's Treat Sprinklets. It's got gingerbread men and itty bitty ones of these. This is from Buttons Galore and More. Ooh, I do like the big candy cane pieces in there with this. It really makes it perfect. I also have had these in my shop. I'm not sure if I have any more, but these are cute little like cookie cutter pieces, and there's trees, stars, and gingerbread men. And I use the gingerbread men more than anything. You know how you get your favorite pieces. But I'm also going to add this tree because there is a tree there, and let's just go for it. Go for broke and put that star in there as well. Oh my goodness, this is too adorable. And these pieces will help the whole thing shake really well. I also have some sequins from Cartwright's that's white, and they're shaped like itty bitty flowers, which kind of look like snowflakes. You know what? I feel very happy with this. Now, something else to think about is the date. See, nowhere on here does it say 2024. Now, I should have put these on there maybe. These are from the days in here, but I didn't like I just thought the color didn't go well. So I'm going to figure out something to add after the fact. So now all we need to do is turn this over, peel that up, pull this down, and seal it. And of course, give it a good burnish. The reason we put all the tape on this one is we need this to really stick well to this. And so that's why I put all that tape on there. And that is the back. Isn't that cute? Now we need to shake this all down there to the bottom because we need to get holes in there. Now this little flap could interfere with the placement of my holes when I use my 2-hole punch, because you put this up against the back. So I'm going to fold that under, and I had this set at 5 3/4 for all of my envelopes, but now I need to put this back at 6. Fold that under and put it through. This is really hard to do on this slanted surface, and then punch my hole. And we want to get those eyelets in there really quickly before we lose our goodies. Okay, and I'm going to use the silver eyelets. I already have my crocodile set, and if you have trouble setting eyelets, make sure you look in the area underneath the title of this video, because I'm going to give you a link to my video on how to set perfect eyelets. That is our front cover. So all we have to do is open that up. Oh my, isn't that adorable? I do love it, and I love the cookie cutters on there. So I need to get the date on here somehow, and I need to do a back cover. Could I do a shaker on the back as well? Yes, I could. The question is, should I? My big question is, why not? Why am I limiting myself? So I'm going to do that again. Another thing you can use besides your page protector are these cellophane envelopes that your stamps and dies come in. Now they are a little more frail, so if you have these, you're better off. Another thing I would suggest, if you can sew, would be to sew this around there rather than using all this adhesive tape, because you know adhesive tape dries out over time, and then you could have a hot mess on your hand when this comes apart. So I did this for those of you who don't sew, but I just want you to know that sewing is definitely an option. So let's look for the back cover. So on our back shaker, I decided to use this cardstock, but I'm going to leave a larger margin when I cut that off so that I can put my tape on first and then cut the edges. Actually, what I need to do is this way, because we're going to reverse it and put our holes on this side. Okay, so now the first thing we need to do is, I already had and marked that. So let's cut the back off. And get that tape on there. And we are going to go right up against where the fold line is. So now I know I can cut off right against that tape. And get this off there. If you want to add, I don't know, like a Santa or something like that right across the top, that might give it a little more direction or focus, you know, once we add our shaker bits. So to think through this, again, it's going backwards this time. There. Right. This is correct because now my seam line is going to be on the other side. Yes. Okay, we're going to have to really think through this. Okay, let's get this off. And add those shaker bits. Now I'm going to add, similarly, I'm going to add these again. Okay, and turn it around. Okay, so there we have that. Okay, now we can get those holes punched. And because this is the back cover, the holes are going to go on this side. Okay, so now we have that. And this is the back of our Christmas Day. Let's add our back cover. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I did that shaker. I think that's really cute. There is our book. We've got front, we've got back, we've got double shakers, and all the days. So what I decided to do was use my Cameo to just make a little tag here with the date on it, with the year. And I've just added some Fabri-Tac. I'm going to add some rickrack just sticking out over the edge, just like that. And I am going to adhere that right up here, like this. And I'm just going to take and kind of mark and punch my hole, so I know where that's going to go. And yes, it's going to require another eyelet to get that in. And there we go. So that is our 2024 planner. That has been an easy project to put together. I think it came around really well. I love that we used our envelopes, and I will do one separate video just kind of as a flip through. Thank you so much for watching. Look at those links down below. I'm giving you your free downloads there as well. Thank you everyone for creating with me.